Alright guys, Vici Gaming Reborn versus Team Liquid game number 2. Vici Gaming with the upset. I think I can reasonably say that. That was an upset. And trying to keep their hopes alive. I believe that gives them... How many points is that now? How many games were they at beforehand? This table makes no
10
sense.
seconds remaining.
Oh, first of all, alright, no, go back up, go back up.
5 seconds
That's the table
remaining.
you're looking for, right there.
Okay,
Right
so they
there.
have 2 points right now.
So they win 1-1 against DC, and they've
Reserve
lost
time.
everything else.
Yeah, so
But
they have 2
now
points.
they just won a game against Team Liquid, and are looking to close things out and make it a 2-0.
It looks like for the end of the day, you want to finish with at least, I want to say like 4 or 5 points to feel stable. If you finish with 4 or 5 points today, I think you're in an okay position.
I think Knoxville said that if you end up going positive, that's all it takes. Is you just end up going positive, you are
Advanced top 4?
Yeah, you advance top 4.
Okay, so you have to win.
So you can go like 5-4 or something, and then be okay.
Okay, so for
But
Liquid,
that doesn't make
they are
sense
not
'cause
positive.
That's a non-number.
But is not positive. They are 3 and 4. So to keep their hopes alive in this tournament, they have to win the next game, which would complete their winning of everybody. All they have to do at that point is 2-0.
Yeah.
So far, though, the teams right now that are struggling though for points, Fnatic are really hurting right now for points. They are in a rough spot. I think they're very close to being statistically eliminated, if Knoxville is correct.
Yeah, they're right on the edge of escape territory.
Yes, because Escape
Is out.
is out. I assume this orange
Or bottom
means...
4, we should say.
Yeah, I assume this orange means they are guaranteed
Mm-hmm.
Dunzo.
Indeed.
So the other teams though still have their hopes alive. So for Fnatic might, they're not out yet, but they are dangerously close. Vici Gaming and Team Liquid are both kind of straddling that line. So I think both of them really need a win here, because if Vici wins this, all of a sudden they have three points. That would match them with Team Liquid, MVP Phoenix, and Secret. And so Vici Gaming desperately need this win to stay alive, because the territory you don't want to hit is that, by that logic, 7 losses.
5
And losing
seconds
here would
remaining.
put them, would mean they have to win out
That's
just to
6.
stand a chance. Yeah. So Vici Gaming Reborn, they open with a common hero that we've seen very often in the Elder Titan. Team Liquid response, maybe the Mirana. What do you think? Mirana Beastmaster, Mirana Batrider?
10 seconds remaining.
What are other strong openers?
Probably Batrider. When Beastmaster's already banned away.
Okay, so
Best
we,
off laner left in the pool.
yeah.
And they
Oh,
take away
Beastmaster.
the Naga.
VG.R's
That Naga.
turn
Okay,
to
so we got
pick.
one half of that equation right, Austin. High
Woo!
five.
We're doing it.
Good job.
Now what about the other half of the equation for VG.R? Elder Titan. They get Mirana in their hands? I mean, it works really well with Elder Titan,
10
right?
seconds.
Yes,
remaining.
Mirana Elder Titan is...
You take away the magic armor, you set up an arrow with the stomp.
5
Wait,
seconds
I have the hero.
remaining.
Zeus. If you take Zeus right now,
Come on,
Vici
dude.
Gaming Reborn. I'm
on, dude, let's
not
be
even
real.
trying to troll.
Liquid
Okay, so
You,
this is-
I mean, I'm okay with Zeus, but Zeus won too?
Yeah, Zeus is
You
so
don't even
strong.
know what your mid matchup is yet.
Okay, by the end of this draft, Vici Gaming Reborn will have drafted a Zeus, or I will stop casting for the next hour.
That's not possible.
That's how
we
confident
cast
I
the
am.
next
Turn to
series
back.
together, dude. You can't just create some sort of vague, I'm gonna predict an off-the-wall hero and then get to forfeit the,
Yeah, but the
the
thing
next,
is- the
next
thing-
cast because you're lazy.
All right, the worst
That's
thing,
not how this works.
the reason why I hate when people make predictions is there's no
10 seconds
there's
remaining.
no incentive to get it right. The only incentive to get it right is that
Uh-huh.
people are
5 seconds
kind of like, oh
remaining.
man, he's a draft expert or something like that. But you also have to have, you know, a disincentive, so you don't want to get it wrong.
Uh-huh. I mean,
Liquid's
that
turn to
disincentive
back.
is that people will think you're an idiot.
Nobody thinks so much. Let's be real, Austin. The only people that think I'm an idiot are Twitch chat, Reddit, most of my Twitter,
10
Mhm,
seconds
my mom
remaining.
until I was 9 because I couldn't speak until then.
What?
5
Yeah,
seconds
have you
remaining.
talked to Grace about this?
No?
I could not speak until I was 9. I didn't know
Reserve
words.
That's not a thing.
I'm not even kidding. It's a real story. On my honor.
You and your giant head, and I mean, you don't have any honor. So
Yeah, but anyways, dude, stay focused. Honestly, This kind of,
I mean, I can't just ignore the fact that you just told me I couldn't speak until I was 9.
dude, I was selective mutism. All right, all of this ballyhooing around.
VG.R's turn to
Morphling has
bat.
been banned. Team Liquid.
Liquid's turn to pick.
They've still got some heroes to take. They could take the Mirana for themselves. It's still pretty strong here. I don't know how strong it is in conjunction with the Naga Siren. Oftentimes when you have Naga, you want some sort of setup. You want her to pair with a very strong setup.
What is this? Is this possible that it's Kuro Naga? Do you think this is a core Naga?
It is possible,
VG.R's turn
especially
to
with the
pick.
Oracle pick there, because Oracle plus Naga Siren is not exactly a combination that you see very often, because with Oracle, you want him to save a hero that is inherently in danger at all times, whereas Naga, she's usually just going to play independent of you.
Yeah. So so what you're saying is,
remaining.
because of that, that's more incentive for the Naga Siren to potentially be a support duo
5
Yes,
with
sir.
seconds
Oracle
remaining.
rather than a core. Well, VG Gaming
Reserve
Reborn still
time.
waiting on that Zeus pick.
Thank you, everybody, by the way, for joining us and choosing our game in VG Gaming Reborn versus Team Liquid. Shout
I
out
don't
to our
think they
viewers.
came here because of us.
Yeah, I mean, they probably don't, but
They're just like, oh, Liquid.
keep it strong, keep it strong. Confidence is the key.
Thank you for not leaving or
Yeah.
muting the broadcast when you came to watch Team Liquid or VG Gaming Reborn.
And if you did, I salute you. You have courage.
Let us know on Twitter that you muted us.
Slardar is going to be the
Liquid's
pickup here. I
turn to
think
pick.
this is an incredibly aggressive draft already for VG Gaming Reborn, and that's exactly what you want. Against a Naga Siren, you want to push the pace, and
Naga Siren's gonna have no armor.
she
Elder
is-
Titan takes she's a
Woo.
high armor hero,
10
and
seconds
Elder
remaining.
Titan's like, nope, not with my aura.
You are
and
not
then
gonna
now
fight.
you've got amplified damage.
Yeah, you are
5
not going to fight this
seconds
hero.
remaining.
So
That's
you're getting a physical damage core on VG Gaming Reborn, right? With this minus armor strategy.
Reserve time.
What is that?
if you get bashed once as Naga, you pretty much just you're in the Shadow Realm.
Uh-huh.
You're banished.
Are you dodging the prediction, Blitzdota?
The Zeus? I mean, it's
I mean, I was asking for.
the next hero.
I said, do you disagree? Physical damage core or VG Gaming Reborn when you're coupling with Elder Titan and Slardar?
I mean, you don't.
I mean,
have
you could
to.
go the magic damage if you want. Still,
It just means that your
Yeah.
line's gonna hit like a truck. All right,
the right clicks from Lion.
don't underrate that, man. When he does a 200 damage right click. All right, who are the heroes then that we could foresee? Who's good against Naga Siren in this kind of setup? You want somebody that can push pace. I will guess that
Dragon
they take
Knight, Templar
Dragon
Assassin.
Knight. Templars. I think that's overkill.
This is overkill.
I'm still sticking with.
I mean, they're Dire Side. There's no such thing as overkill when it comes to physical damage and minus armor on Dire Side.
All right, so it is going to be the
Alright,
Death
maybe
Prophet.
not.
We thought it was going to be Death
VG.R's
Prophet and
turn
Mirana,
to
so
pick.
Yeah.
half right. Vici Gaming Reborn. They need a mid of their own. That's going to pair nicely against that. I still think Mirana's kind of okay here. Maybe even the odd
10
Unero?
seconds
The
remaining.
Alchemist.
No, I think Unero.
No, that is
5
impossible,
seconds
Blitzdota.
remaining.
Oh, is it
I
banned?
can literally bet my life and your life on the fact that Juggernaut
Reserve
will not be
time.
picked up. In
Don't
this
put
game
that
by
voodoo on me.
VG.R.
Sometimes I don't even consider those things. Terror
Oh,
Blade.
Terrorblade! Yeah, that makes sense.
Liquid's
That hero
turn to
pushes the
bat.
tempo. I was like, Drown Ranger was banned. That was the push hero that I had in my head. Terrorblade, push hero, obviously a lot of physical damage.
Okay, so you know what'd be cool? If Liquid gives them the last pick Huskar.
10 seconds
And
remaining.
they fool them into thinking this is a one position Naga, and
5
instead
seconds
it's
remaining.
Huskario. That would be the real
Huskar.
M Night
Reserve
Shyamalan
time.
plot twist.
Not really that much of a. I mean, we kind of saw the plot twist coming when I suggested that Naga Siren could be support.
Yes.
So
Yeah, but you're not as interesting.
We'll see if VG.R
What is
are
okay?
as
So
awesome as I am.
they banned Viper,
VG.R's
a very good hero
turn to
against.
bat.
ban a core
Liquid's
VG.R.
like, oh, then I really feel like it's the Huskar now.
What makes Huskar so good here? Because you've got a lot of minus armor. The Elder Titan's not bad versus.
Yeah, but by that
Huskar.
logic,
a
you
lot
can't
of
pick.
physical
By,
damage.
by that logic, you can't pick anybody.
10
You,
seconds
you,
remaining.
you know what I mean? Like he's like Huskar is gonna drop low in HP. Oh no, they fell for the trap.
VG.R's
They
turn
fell for
to
the
pick.
trap.
They fell for the trap.
I don't actually think it's.
Okay, so what is? I am
Mirana.
asking for the audience. Come on,
The Mirana
Blitzdota.
finally came in.
Liquid's
Mirana
turn
ET.
to
Yeah,
pick.
yeah, all right, there
Alright.
it is.
So we thought it'd be taken much earlier than this.
Uh huh.
but
So what is about the Huskar that makes him good against VG.R's lineup?
it's just Huskar. You're never.
Come on, you gotta explain this.
Oh, Abaddon.
People are tuning into
Abaddon
Dota
would
for
be
the
sick.
first time.
Abaddon would be
10
sick
seconds
by
remaining.
Liquid.
Like
Maybe
carry
you
or
two-
support Abaddon.
Yeah, maybe you have too many
5 seconds
defensive
remaining.
abilities, but I think Abaddon back could be alright. My vote is for either you swing that Naga into a
Reserve
support and go full all out and you do something weird, like take the Huskar or something.
Mm-hmm.
Although I think Huskar is not that great against
Terrible.
TB.
That's what kind of what I was saying. Blitz Dota.
Mm. I'd like to see it anyway.
You just like to make fun of. Oh my god! Woo! All right, get on my level. Liquid still lost.
Oh, so who? Honestly, it's whenever you doubt me that just makes me so much stronger.
Listen, you know what happened in that situation? No matter what, I would still be right. I got the Naga Siren support.
When
you got the Huskar
when
last
people
pick.
doubt you, it makes it so much sweeter. When Blitz Dota 3 picks ago called the last pick Huskar.
You were doubting yourself. You were doubting yourself. You're like, I'm not sure if Huskar's that good against Starblade.
Validation.
I will be entirely validated when Team Liquid lose.
Validation. Honestly, you represent the haters in my
10
life,
seconds remaining.
and I 100% read that Huskar pick. I was like, it's a
5
good hero
seconds
here.
remaining.
They have okay. The
I
thing
had no doubts in my mind.
the thing that tipped it off. Remember, 3 picks ago, I said, why did they take Oracle Naga back to back? That's not a combination that works. It's just so then you have to start thinking that that's going to be a support
Prepare
Naga.
for
That's why
battle.
everyone, that's why VG.R was fooled into thinking that was a core Naga Siren. But little do they know that Kuro is the greediest man alive, and he's gonna somehow farm a Radiance on that Naga.
All right.
All right, so I think Liquid's gonna win this game as virtue of taking that Huskar. So first time of barracks destruction, 20 minutes. Total number of Rosh kills, 3. Player with most kills by 10 minutes. I will say no.
What? Are you just copying me right now?
Wait, am I?
You're almost.
Oh, okay.
You said before 20 minutes. I said 20 to 30.
Oh, I see.
And
okay.
first tower destruction. You gonna go for the 8 to 11 again and be wrong by 7 seconds?
Oh, that hurt. That was like when I
30
found out I had to be
seconds to
in
battle.
English second language as a 9-year-old.
Because of your selective mutism?
Dude, it was rough. All right.
Can you? I'm kind of with you on the Huskar, but I wanted you to explain what made Huskar good in this draft.
I just completely ignored that.
You were just like, but it's Huskar.
That's 80% of the reason why you take a Huskar though, because it's Huskar. All right. So,
Dude, no, I'm gonna hold you to this. Explain it now.
Okay, I'll actually explain it. So the reason why is because you don't really care when you have an Oracle what you're playing against. The thing about the type of lineup that VG.R has is that you want to bring it to their face, the fight, constantly. And that's why when you saw the Oracle / Naga back-to-back, that's where Kuro, quote-unquote, fooled VG.R. Because VG.R was completely on the principle that this was going to be core Naga. So everything that VG.R did was pushing the tempo. You don't really want to push the tempo against the Huskar, because this hero destroys tempo gaming.
Right.
Because he's going to be the one getting in your face at all times. So just not very easy to fight against. And Liquid have to be careful though. Very easy for them to die up here. I think Mind Control might even go down.
A 2-man stun, 2-man stomp, and Mind Control being body blocked up by FY. Trying to stay ahead of him, not quite enough. And Mind Control will live because of that.
Gotta be careful.
Yeah, they certainly do.
That you have to be incredibly safe in this lane, but what they're trying to do is force the early meta, and Kuro's just trying to bother him as much as they can because they want to abuse the fact that there's no heroes around the map. Fada should do pretty well against this matchup, as Mirana does not deal that well with Death Prophet. It's usually a natural lane win for DP players, because you notice that every single time that Nono tries to go up for that range creep, he's going to beat him back by right-clicking him twice. And now Nono's in a position where if he right-clicks it, he gets it denied like that. Yeah. It's like playing chicken when you're playing mid, because if Nono continues to wait for that, or if he goes for another CS, then Fada will go for a deny. That's kind of the change, I think, in the way that mid principles work nowadays. Huskar is going to get absolute free farm in this game, which is part of the reason why we thought he'd be so strong. And Hey, it doesn't really matter if there's a bunch of negative armor, because the bigger principle is that if Oracle dies, then VG.R will most likely win the fight. If Oracle survives, then VG.R, regardless of how much negative armor they have, these are a bunch of melee heroes. They're not going to just stand around getting fire thrown at them. Fire hurts, Austin. Are you crazy?
You know, I had in my head, when I ask these questions, I have a plan, Blitzdoda.
All right, what's your plan?
But no, when I asked you, I was like, what about the physical damage and the minus armor? I would hope you would say, it doesn't matter. They have an Oracle. Huskar's a high-tempo hero, and he's just going to run at him anyway.
Yeah.
And you were just like, oh, this Huskar.
Never doubt fire.
Never doubt. Well, they do have two fire heroes in Batrider and Huskar.
Fire is the strongest of all the elements.
Blitzdoda of the Fire Clan.
Yeah. When you played Pokemon as a kid, if you didn't take Charizard, that's how I knew you were not my friend.
Okay, well, I'll tell you right now, I was definitely a Bulbasaur.
Oh, I was like the Hufflepuff of answers. Continuing on in this game, Mind Control continues to take the stack. He's going to get a clean level 4, finish his Tranquil Boots if he wants it. So far, laning phase seems to be all liquid right now.
Yeah, it really does. With the Naga Siren stacking that offlane camp and Mind Control still getting something out of the lane while that stacking's happening, and then he
as long as Kuro doesn't die, but as we say that, he is definitely going down.
Alright, well, still, he got Mind Control level 4.
Yeah, that's the big part, but at the same time, I think just a little bit too greedy, because we talked about it. You can't give this lane any sort of kills. They're always going to stack and pull anyways. They're going to grab the levels. The worst possible thing you can do on top of that is dying, because Matamba Man is, meanwhile, just getting absolute farm against nothing, so he should be pretty happy about that.
Yeah, Mikasa. Typical Iron Talon gaming, even with the Slardar. That's what he's going to be up to. No. His CS war in mid against Fada's Death Prophet. Not going his way, but when you were talking about the fact that No should lose this matchup anyway, his CS is probably respectable. 14-4 compared to the 20-8 now on the Death Prophet.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like about VG.R's lineup is that because of the product of this laning phase, what's going to end up happening is that Jarex, a player that you absolutely need to deny farm from, is getting a ton of levels right now. And
Mind Control gonna be run down here. He pops the Firefly, but it doesn't look like it's gonna matter unless the Slithering Crush misses, and Mikasa starts taking a lot of damage. DDC does manage to hit the stun there. Mind Control can't catch up to all these heroes, but he can hit end and gets a lot of damage on everyone. Unable to get a kill anywhere, but still, considering the fact that should have been a guaranteed kill on Mind Control with 4 heroes wrapping into the lane.
Yeah, that is a huge investment, and they just learned right there, the floor is lava. Do not touch.
It certainly is. Jarex. Liquid seemingly responding to that whole Slardar jungling, and he rotates up to top to gank with 4 heroes top of their own.
Yeah, but Fada's just going to make his way amble back to mid because he realizes not a whole lot going to happen in this situation, as now Nono's going to grab.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Force him on a leap out.
Use raindrop. He's got to be careful though. Fada still has that second Spirit Siphon brew.
He's going to have to play the distance game for the next 20 seconds. That is for sure. Our
did he die?
Suiciding. It looks like he already bought out, so that was definitely planned.
Yeah. Fada in this mid lane, doing just fine. I think a good amount of farm, like we talked about. Although Nono is really caught up. This guy, when it comes to the laning phase, Nono is a beast. He almost always makes all of these disadvantageous lanes look okay.
Man, you know, I was telling.
Oh, bottom.
Ooh. Matamba Man, not quite enough. Mikasa hits the Slithering Crush, and he'll be okay. But this is the danger of the Huskar. As soon as he hits that level 6, he's got kill potential, and very few offlaners can just sit here for a while. Mikasa going to be pushed back even more. A couple more auto attacks being swung his way.
Yeah, and he might actually... Okay, he's definitely dead. You know, when he popped the sprint...
I missed that one because DDC looks like he's also going to die here. Tried to contest the rune up against Kuro, but he just gets ensnared and Fauna makes the rotation up.
Yep, and that is the strength. So far, things are still somewhat okay, but I think VG.R are going to be pretty disappointed in those 2 deaths, as Liquid are just getting a little bit more out of this laning phase, especially since this Terrorblade up at top has been contested so heavily.
It certainly has. 36 and 10 compared to
Mind Control's just going to Firefly up here.
8.
He's going to get all these.
He certainly is.
This is not the move for FY, who's just trying to get levels, but instead going gonna
He'll
feed
get
a
half
lot.
of it.
Yeah, and he's gonna get the big creep. That was the
Dire's
huge draw out of that.
bottom
Is
tower under attack.
Mind Control still has a lot of stacks to work with, and briefly gonna get spotted out as he pings it like crazy now. And they are well aware that Mind Control has been stacking this for himself.
No, looking for an arrow opportunity here in the bottom lane. Hoping to be able to catch Jerix, but not the case.
They really want to slow down this Matama Man
Dire's
Huskar if
bottom
they can,
tower
but
is under attack.
he's already got the armlet completed now, and Mikasa, I think you've made the wrong move. Being in this bottom lane is not where you want to be. He is just going to get chased down by fire.
Dire's bottom tower is
Certainly
under
is. He does have a healing salve that'll give him a little bit of extra XP. Oh, another healing salve, but it's still not enough. Oh God!
And you lose 200 gold.
Down the drain.
The
Still
ultimate
dies.
humiliation.
Oh.
As up at top, Mind Control is just trying to drag the creep wave away, and he's going to be successful. Surprise, surprise, as End is trying to get as much damage as he can on this tower, but so far this has just not been Mikasa's game. Do not abandon the jungle offlaners. That is your first mistake that you will make. Just offlane is not your friend.
Oh man, it really sucks that that safe lane carry is, you know, solo. Maybe I should go contest, make that a one-on-one. Don't be a Swindle Melons.
Yeah.
Believe in yourself. Believe in the
Dire's
Iron Talent.
bottom
Do not
tower is
forsake
under
that.
attack.
Swindle's made that mistake.
Hey, look at the position now that the Slaughter's in. He bought 2 salves. That was so much of his net worth investment.
Yeah.
And now he's in a position where
He got nothing.
yeah, he's got nothing now.
Now they've got a tower.
Mhm.
Man takes that one away. Net worth wise, pretty big gap between Huskar and everybody else.
Yeah, this is a very ideal Huskar game right now, and even for the Bad Rider, he's had a very successful game. He's got a bunch of stacks to work with right now. 8 minutes in, he still hasn't died in the off lane. He's pulled the creep camp during the first Metamorphosis reveal, so he didn't even die in that position. He's got 1,600 gold now.
He doesn't have the early win lace, so presume this is the Blink Dagger first pickup.
Yeah, I think
What are some of the factors that go into making that decision? Blink Dagger or drums?
usually when you go for the drums, you have something else to initiate with on your team. But if you look at Liquid's lineup, they're so heavily dependent on the bat first jump that I don't think they can really afford to go for anything else. As Matama Man just leaves that bottom lane. We talked about it. I want everybody that follows my broadcast to really try to pay attention to this. When you're playing Radiant, you get out of the safe lane for the 10-minute mark, and you pretty much just abandon it because it is so dangerous. Like, look at what End is doing. He's just ditched the safe lane. He's essentially gone to the jungle, and he's trying to let FY get some farm. End is playing it really cautiously right now.
Because naturally, right, when you're abandoning that safe lane Radiant, one or two things. Either you're going to be jungling, or you're going to be invading the Dire jungle.
Yes, exactly.
So you're going to go up to that top lane, try and get a gank, take that tier 1, and, you know, open things up for yourself on that side.
Top tower is almost certainly going to go down, as they might even make a move on Mind Control.
Kuro can't stop this one. He's not level 6. All he can do is ensnare, but that's not going to matter. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Matama Man gets the jump, drops pretty low, but will be able to survive, and now he's got all that extra attack speed, so they can start beating on the tier 1 tower.
Yeah, Oracle's level 6 as well, which is a dream game for him so far. And VG, they've got to be careful because this Huskar is not to be trifled with.
Certainly not. Fauna actually picks up an arcane rune. Always a nice one to have in your bottle as a Death Prophet.
Yeah, mid tier 1 tower.
Bit of liberty for that exorcism. Mikasa looked away from his screen for a moment, considering he was once the coach. Maybe he was doing a little strategy talk there. And TP's away, though, in time.
I mean, I think right now, Mikasa's probably telling them that the way that they're playing isn't very good right now. Just because they're not putting pressure. Like, this is what their lineup wants to do. Unfortunately, though, it's just because Mikasa got picked off those 3 times at bottom that it slowed down his Blink Dagger progression by so much. And now has that Dragon Lance, but when you play TB, you naturally want to play aggressively. Just take advantage of the fact that you can spawn these illusions that you're going to be really strong in these team fights early on. This hero curves out in a way you don't want it to. Barely missing, but...
Barely missing the scan, but it doesn't matter anyway.
We talked about this, what, 30 seconds ago, that Dire are going to invade the safe lane. And look at Liquid's positioning. They've completely left. Look at End's positioning. He's completely left that top lane. It's just so you make it difficult for VG.R and both Liquid. They can't really find the safe laners here like they want to.
The Blink Dagger now up for the Bat Rider. So Liquid can shake things up. They've been pretty slow. Like they haven't actually tried to invade that dire jungle at all. They've actually played Matumba Man almost entirely safely.
They're gonna invade their own jungle.
Side of the jungle.
This is the correct move to make. This is a Navi classic where they invade into their own jungle because they know VG.R all here. Mikasa's gonna get spotted. They don't have the best angle on him, but maybe if they continue to go to the right, they can find somebody. And I think VG.R, they should know by now. The warning bell should be going off.
He spots Matumba Man and immediately pops Moonlight Shadow. The dust goes down, but doesn't catch anybody. Matumba Man is left in the wings here, unable to catch anything. But actually going to be blown up here. Everything being blown on him, and now Matumba Man already low. But Naga Siren, that was not the sleep for sure. Matumba Man is going to take a lot of damage. Almost dies there as the armlet toggle goes down, but he will manage to survive. Mikasa being chased away. The rest of VG.R, they blew the Metamorphosis, but let's be honest, they got what they wanted out of that one. They killed the Death Prophet and fought a bot back for it. Didn't even see that until now.
Yeah, they thought they were going to take a fight with this Arcane Rune, but instead Liquid looks like they got really gun-shy because they no longer have that Oracle ultimate. And even with VG.R expending almost all their abilities, Liquid, I think, are not reading this situation correctly, and instead they look like they're incredibly afraid. So they're just going to give up that bottom Tier 1 tower, and Fada was so isolated from the rest of the pack. And this is just a sloppier Liquid than we're used to seeing.
Spotting something out, blink forward, the grab no-no with a silence. This should be a pretty easy kill. VG.R, okay, try and leap away. Matumba Man leaps right back.
There goes my hero.
I actually want to hear you sing that now, the next time Oscar makes a leap like that.
I mean, that was absurd. Alright, can you just purge off the,
Yes, you can.
I'd imagine that's...
He's leaving it on, I think, just because mana conservation.
Yeah. It looked like Liquid were thinking about forcing around that Roche Pit fight, but without the Death Prophet in position, don't think it's really worth it for them. And I mean, this is... Liquid, up until that moment, were making really good moves. Then they expended a lot of what they didn't have to. Like, this Death Prophet would have her Yules pretty much if she hadn't gone for that buyback there.
Well, they're going to get the potentially freebie. And the Terrorblade, natural with Terrorblade pushes because you have such a heavy cooldown. You open yourself up to Roshan being taken in return against lineups like this. That being said, Elder Titan is really good at defending the Roshan pit.
Elder Titan is really good. And
in period. Mind control, looking for it, not gonna find him. Another spirit comes in, gonna go for the stomp. Oh, the Moonlight Shadow, the arrow, long range is going to land on the Roshan here. Looks like the Aegis is going to be picked up. Fada with the interception. Will be going to silence Aegis in the hands now of Team Liquid, and they're actually going to push forward, trying to force this fight. Going to go straight for End. Managed to get the Oracle ultimate off, which means End desperately needed to be able to get the swap face pain. He does so successfully. Long enough to be able to get a kill, maybe two. Fada ends up going down because of that. No, doesn't have a leap though, and he's left burning in the flames. Not going to be able to get away. Matumba Man makes a leap onto his dead carcass. Not like there's any other kind of carcass anyway. DDC, mind control. He's going to be stunned up. They can actually kill mind control, but it's probably going to cost them their lives. Ensnare goes down. Mikasa is going to die because of that one. FY did his best to slow down the progress of Team Liquid, but it did not matter. They were just not in position to really stop that Roshan from going down, and as soon as the Aegis was picked up by Team Liquid, the fight was kind of over.
That's Thunder did so much work for them right there.
Yeah. They even things out pretty damn well considering how bad that situation looked.
Yeah, that could have been a lot worse considering that Matumba Man essentially had 3 lives there. With the Oracle ultimate going off on him as well, it took so much for VG.R to take him down, but regardless of that, they still kind of come out of that fight okay because they're taking down the second hero, as the Death Prophet just is not scaling in this game.
Yeah, and this means VG.R can keep up the pressure right now, because if that Aegis had actually lasted on Team Liquid, then we could have seen them, you know, VG.R could have gotten a little gun shy, right? Been like, we don't want to push in, even if we have Metamorphosis up, we don't want to push into an Aegis, but now that Aegis is down, this opens up the game for VG.R to continue to keep pressure if they'd like to.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. When you're in a position like that where you're not really sure how the Roche fight's going to go and it doesn't even end up that bad, and more importantly, you're able to take the Aegis without losing more heroes on your side, because that was essentially, that was a 3-for-3 trade on top of the Aegis. So that was probably one of the better situations where VG.R were going to trade evenly.
Tier 1 going to follow top lane, uncontested. That's Matumba Man.
I think the big problem is that Mirana just doesn't have anything either.
Radiant's middle tower
So
is
it essentially
under
comes down to the two mids for both teams, that they're just not progressing.
Yeah, because you need somebody to progress. Like, somebody has to kind of take the reins here, and it looks like it's actually going to be the Slaughter. Mikasa, who's died 4 times in this game so far, has managed to even up his farm with Mind Control, who only has that Blink Dagger available to him. Although on the other side of things, Kuro is doing quite well for himself in terms of supports. As up at top, DDC.
He's going to have the mech soon on Kuro.
Yeah, that's going to be very effective with the Huskars. It looks like at bottom end is reluctant to continue.
Yeah, it's too many heroes are off map, right? They're not sure if the Huskar has a full team behind him or if there's potentially 4 heroes wrapping down to bottom lane, so he's just a bit scared to actually go for tier 2 trade-off when, to us, it looks rather obvious.
Yeah, and this is going to be a free bottom tier 2 tower right now for VG.R. Looks like End is just going to beat away this one. If Liquid could get 2 tier 2s out of this, probably be well worth it, but I'm not sure how far they're willing to push
It all comes up to this fight inside of the river. Mind Control almost getting popped there, but they managed to get off the Song of the Siren. Now they can
Matamba-man's not making his way down.
They actually don't have the AoE abilities. They don't have the silence. Matamba-man isn't here in time. They've got the ensnare out on No. He's going to go for the TP away. Do they have a stun? Oh, maybe just the damage. No, he healed himself inside the fountain. He's good. Team Liquid continuing to move forward, but Liquid actually have to go back to base because N has already chipped this tier 3 tower down to half HP. N does have a TP out, but Mind Control is there, ready to go with a flame break. So instead, N has to turn and fight this somehow, but he doesn't have enough mana. One more mana, pops the one, but now he's silenced, and no, couldn't get off the ult. Mikasa unable to save his ally. He gets at least Mind Control. DDC comes in. Oh, and with the finger on that, they blow up Mana. Turn on Jarex, get him too. Matamba-man goes for the kill on DDC, but with the stop, he is gonna live. The fountain will heal him up enough, and they're even sticking around. Mikasa, he's thinking, maybe, just maybe, I can jump on a Matamba-man, but there's no way.
Yeah, he even pops an empty wand.
Yeah.
Like, hoping that there's some sort of a reserve, but...
He's like, maybe that'll give me the mana for Slithering Crush, but it's far too late now.
This is really sloppy from Liquid. They popped the Song of the Siren, but they had no follow-up.
Yeah.
It was almost like the game just kind of reset in VG.R's favor, because it almost looks like Elder Titan is getting the most value out of that Song of the Siren because he's waiting for these Liquid heroes to clump up.
Yeah, they used Silence during the Song of Siren, and I think Flame Break as well. I think both those abilities were essentially dodged.
Yeah, this is getting pretty rough for them right now as the next 3 heroes after that Huskar, who is incredibly farmed, all followed up by VG.R heroes, and we talked about it. It's going to be the secondary heroes that are going to make the big difference here, and the Death Prophet just isn't really in a position to be able to fight with his team, and he's struggling in farm. Matamba-man is still ahead of the pack, but we see how quickly he can go down, and he's going to need some help in the form of Fada. His Battle Rider is pretty much...
He's an initiator and deals lots of damage in the early game, but he won't be able to really provide a true carry role.
Yeah, I mean, it seems absurd to think about that Mikasa is somehow caught up in farm to the rest of the pack. Like, he has almost as much net worth as that Death Prophet, who had a much better overall laning phase than him. And it's just byproduct of kills.
Team Liquid,
I mean, they're
maybe
starting
it's
the
because the pressure on them, they feel this game slipping away, but they're going to try and push high ground here with the Huskar. Take advantage of this hero's big power spike.
Yeah, Arrow's gonna whiff, but
it's gonna be tough though. They've got a Manta now on the Terrorblade.
yeah, he's gonna do work against his team.
It's only gonna get worse later on, which is why Liquid are gonna try and force this anyway.
Yeah, there's a relative lack of AoE from Liquid's side.
But man needs some help, and he'll get it in the form of Oracle. They'll start healing him up, and he should be fine. Doesn't have enough for Inner Vitality, but he will heal up the full anyway. They managed to get the stun out of Kuroki, but they managed to save him for the magic damage. Still not enough for the Song of Siren to go down. Liquid have lost one. Can they get more? Mikasa, he's going to be the one blinking forward too. It's actually DDC who gets the impale first. Spada goes down yet again. Now Matamba-man going to be caught. Immediately back up as well. Into the arrow. A stomp down as well. Lion has some disables, but they're not even needed. Double kill for N. And VG.R will now be the ones to push down some objectives.
They are going to get so much out of that as well. They're just going to continue to push in as Mikasa might even find more than this.
Mikasa, he just seems to know what's up.
He's going to have his blink up in 1 second. The arrow's going to miss.
No, not in time.
This game is completely spiraled out of control right now for Liquid. In terms of experience, 4,000 lead for VG.R is two supports of VG.R just so much more effective with their abilities right now.
Man, I love that Mikasa had the game sense there to know, all right, like we just won that fight. Naturally, the heroes that are left are gonna try and play efficient farm-wise, and farm like this jungle area, and it almost catches mind control because of it. Speaking of farm efficiency, FY got a hand of Midas, so he will keep up his levels, move on to the level 16 as quick as possible, and he'll also get some item progression in.
I think he just recognizes he doesn't really need items right now. Like, his hero itself is going to be strong enough here, and they might just run into him, but not exactly the target that they want to grab. But a kill is a kill right now, and it's going to slow down his Midas efficiency.
You die with the Midas off cooldown.
Yeah, that is...
Nothing will make Twitch chat matter.
That's going to go high ground now. Yeah, they should just pop the DP ulti and go for it.
Get some serious damage into that tier 3, see if they can get the lane of Rax.
This is pretty rough for them to hold. They're going to pop the...
Shadow goes out, Mikasa looking for his entry, but looks like he got hit by something there, and his Blink Dagger got put on cooldown the last half second as he tried to jump forward.
Yeah, maybe they just got...
Now he jumps in. Matamba Man again needs some help. There it is. Matamba Man will be healed back up to full once again.
Okay, the rough part right now though for Liquid is that now the ET is up.
Yeah.
VG. The good news for Liquid though is that N had to pop his meta for that. I think they just smoke and go. Yeah.
Smoke on VG.R, you mean?
Yeah. You just smoke and go.
Do you think that Liquid, if they wait 30 seconds,
Jarex has got to be careful here.
Should Liquid similarly try and get aggressive when they know Metamorphosis is down?
I think they're just gonna lose 2 heroes here. Oh, Mind Control doesn't get... He's got to get out, save the gem.
Yeah, he saved the gem. Matamba Man, ooh, the arrow.
Oh, they know he's there now.
Mikasa, he's got a Slithering Crush in a second. Actually gets jumped on by Matamba Man. He needs a save. Kuro's coming in with a Song of Siren. Holding, waiting longer. He's gonna have to pop it soon. End's gonna come forward. Matamba Man's actually still okay. Bada will be able to get some Spirit Siphon damage in, but they start retreating. They want to hold on to this Song of Siren, apparently, while their Oracle is dead. I thought for sure Kuro was gonna pop that ultimate while those heroes were grouped up, and maybe Liquid could even try and have a poke at VG.R, but not the case here. They keep that ult off cooldown and just losing their Oracle. Not too much of a swing one way or the other.
Yeah, they're going to make their way to the Roshan pit now, thinking that that is where the next fight is going to approach. They're probably going to be correct here, as VG.R should verify for themselves more than anything that Roshan is up. And for the first time in this game, and starting to build up a significant lead in net worth.
Smoke! They were just next to him. Looks like DDC will still be caught though by Mind Control. They managed to get the Flame Break, a little bit of damage on him. Matamba, he's trying to help out. The Moonlight Shadow goes down. They still have the gem. I can't believe that DDC is actually getting some distance here. He might just be able to escape. Blink up, he's away.
This has just not been Liquid's match.
Certainly not.
They just... It looks like they're getting run around right now more than anything.
These couple of seconds where Roshan is not here may actually cost them so much, as even just a few seconds means they can't go for Roshan anymore.
Yeah, and they're going to have to reset as VG.R in prime position right now in this game, because all the while that's happening, and just completely pushed out that top lane, and he's dangerously close to that Eye of Scotty.
Force Staff now for Mind Control. Could have used that one earlier against DDC.
And DDC and FY have just made this game possible right now. Mikasa had a really rough laning phase, but he's managed to pick things up. Nono hasn't had the best impact in this game, and has kind of just done terribly things, but these two supports, FY and DDC, have done everything for VG.R.
Matamba Man will begin the solo attempt on Roshan. Elder Titan spots him out with the Spirit, will be able to hit the stun.
They're going to leave Matamba Man in there alone. Jarex somewhat near, and now they're going to pop the Mirana ultimate. They want to take this fight. This could just determine the game if...
Liquid, no, thanks to this wards, they're going to back up to their high ground.
Radiant's middle tower
It looks
is
like,
under attack.
I mean, VG.R,
Dire's bottom tower
they really
is
want
under
to clash.
attack.
They've got so many good spells around that Roche pit. All the AoE all the AoE they have to work with, the space for the Terror Blade. He's almost got that fully completed. I have Scotty completed, and Matama Man's going to be sent once again, alone into the Roshan pit as the rest of the team awaits.
Radiant's middle
But
tower
nobody
is
from
under
Liquid
attack.
really has the farm to back him up either, even if they wanted to.
VG.R waiting on their initiation. They now have a Blink Dagger on Mirana. The Stomp lands, no arrow follow-up. Not yet anyway.
They're going to contest this though, no matter what.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, unless Kuro just
a
the
question.
The other play is Kuro could just Song of the Siren.
Yeah. Oh, and he's about to, but Mikasa gets it first, and now they're going to blow Kuro. They used a lot of nukes for it, but Matama Man actually managed to get the leap onto No-No, but he's going to die. He's outside in range of the Oracle.
Radiant's middle tower is
Liquid,
under
they've
attack.
lost to Roshan
gonna be
low enough that it will be a freebie for VG.R. That'll be Aya Scotty. That'll be an Aegis. That might just be VG.R beating Liquid 2-0 in this group stage.
Alright, so the play just seemed too obvious. The Naga was going to go in for the sleep, right? And VG.R read the same situation that pretty much everybody did, including us, that Kuro was going to go for the sleep to try to secure the last second Roshan, but he went way too far down. And he went in this isolated zone where no one could really help him. And as a result, Liquid down a man, couldn't really take the fight. And VG.R instead get a free Roshan off of that. And
it gets even worse when Matama Man jumps onto the Mirana and she leaps away, and all of a sudden Oracle's like, nah, I can't save you. There's no way. You're so
no
far
way.
out of range.
And I think Liquid right now are just, they're projecting their moves a little bit too much. And it's hard for any of them to kind of get into the rhythm of the game, whereas VG.R are just reading things a lot better. Like Mikasa has had some kind of beast game ever since that beginning laning phase. This guy started 0-3 and now he's 3-4-8. Had a ton of impact. Has almost as much net worth as this Death Prophet who had a relatively good laning phase. And now Liquid are just reeling left and right.
They've got a BKB for this Death Prophet. A minor thing, it seems, in the grand context of this game, but maybe it can change the next fight, and Liquid can change their fortune, but they're going to have to fight into an Aegis if they want to fight anytime soon.
Yeah.
If they wait, that'll mean BKB for Mikasa. Mind Control is going to grab Mikasa, though, as he's farming up the Ancients. Pick off like that. Does Liquid push high ground again in mid?
I don't know if they can.
Yeah.
Radiant's top
That'd be a
tower
hard
is
one,
under attack.
especially since they haven't verified whether or not Mikasa is buyback. And
Radiant's top
in
tower
fact,
is
Mikasa
falling.
does. And if they decide to go for this and they lose this fight, I think you can reasonably just say that VG.R have way too strong of a lineup at that point.
At the same time, though,
Radiant's top
game
tower
is
is
always
under
going to get
attack.
harder as it pushes later. Maybe they think they don't have a better opportunity than this one?
Yeah, potentially. They want to use the Exorcism Ghost on the enemy side of base. That's always going to be the principle with Death Prophet.
Yeah.
I think right now Liquid are just too far behind to do much. This is kind of a...
15 seconds, it's not enough. They couldn't push fast enough to really try and punish that that death on Slardar.
The best thing that they can do right now is clear out vision from everywhere and kind of reset. But again, their Death Prophet just has not had the best game so far. Now they're gonna all get spotted up there. No-No's gonna throw out the arrow.
Doesn't land on anybody. Clean whiff there.
Yeah, but I think Vici, they can just reset this fight.
And they still have both the bottom and top lane being relatively pushed in. Liquid refusing to back up to deal with those lanes. You still want to try and find an opportunity against VG.R, but VG.R playing it very patiently, very safe on this left-hand side of the map. Let the Terrorblade Illusions do their work. They now have the BKB on Mikasa. And I'm not sure if anything fresh is coming in for Liquid.
Right now, Vici just sending down illusions. I mean, they've got to feel incredibly comfortable right now with the position that they're in. It's VG.R, they're going to just send everybody down.
You needed the extra little help initiating. You now have an invis on DDC. Vici Gaming Reborn have Metamorphosis. They've got an Aegis. I think they've got every incentive to be the ones pushing high ground. There it is. Metamorphosis pop. And is going to be leading here. Matamba Man already taking a lot of damage. They might just be able to force out the ult of the Oracle. They're going to be able to drag Mikasa back. If they don't do it fast enough, though, the BKB is going to go down. They manage to get the ensnare off, though. Mikasa turns around, gets a little bit more damage. Matamba Man heals right back up for the Oracle ultimate, and Oracle buys back. There goes the swap around of HP. Fought is left low enough. He has to go back to Fountain. Matamba Man. He has an opportunity at round 2 against N, but it's going to be a tough one with all his heals. Can he actually output enough damage? Not when DDC comes in with the Hex. The heals go off. DDC still alive somehow through all of that one, but so too is Matamba Man. A buyback there from Kuroki as he gets blown up by the Finger of Death, and VG.R determined they've done enough damage to Liquid. They can't risk another pickoff.
I mean, nobody from Liquid really deal any damage anymore. If you saw that the Terrorblade is almost always going to get a free ultimate off onto anybody he pleases, because he always has the Manta in case he gets silenced. So there's got to be some weird timing window where Fada has to silence him, and I don't know. This is an awkward position because Liquid, once again, very lacking in terms of the piercing BKB category.
Yeah. 4.5 minutes for Roche. We are going to have a data list quite soon here for our Terrorblade. Things getting harder and harder for Team Liquid to even out this series and make it a 1-1 after a disappointing loss in Game 1. We may see Team Liquid really spiral downwards if this 2-0 follows through. They still have another match today against Fnatic, another team that you would say, looking at this group stage, that Liquid should be the ones to win, but
this is also a game that a lot of people predicted that Liquid would win, especially since VG.R didn't look the strongest. I mean, they dropped the game to DC, another team that people thought would come in here a little bit weaker, but instead it's actually VG.R that have looked very solid overall and taking so many advantages of all the mistakes that Liquid have made this game.
Certainly goes to prove how competitive TI6 is being so far. VG.R going to make the initiation. Moonlight Shadow plot. The Oracle ultimate does go off. Mind Control's going to be saved here, but what good is he really going to be doing? I'm not sure if he's going to live through this one. That was so much damage. Sure enough, he does get popped. Fada, he's going to pop his BKB, try and TP out as well. They don't have a disable unless a bash comes in from Mikasa. Couldn't get there in time, though. So they lost Mind Control. Metamorphosis was used by VG.R. They're going to go head straight down middle lane with this this Metamorphosis popped. See if they can punish Liquid.
Yeah, and without the Song of the Siren available, there goes all of Liquid's ability to reset the fight. That means they're going to have to do it in this initial engagement, but again, the Huskar he can't battle this Terrorblade anymore. This Terrorblade is absolute beast. He's got a full data list completed now, 2 captains. They already struggle to bring him down with control, and it feels like this is just going to be another continuation of that.
Too many initiation options for VG.R. They've got the superior carry. I mean, you can't really like blink lasso the Terrorblade. You're always going to be responded with 3 different blinks from VG.R, punishing you for that aggressive move. You can't lock Terrorblade down long enough for him to not be able to get off his Sunder before he dies.
Yeah.
Discuss that. The BKBs rendering less and less effective.
The problem right now is that there's so many heroes that VG.R that Liquid have to deal with in terms of looking at VG.R's lineup. They still have to lock down this Mirana, who has Leap, and the crazy thing is Leap is enough to get her away. Look at the supports from Liquid. They have no hard lockdown for that ability. So the only way to take down the Mirana is either you silence her, which is going to prove to be hard because she's always going to play the backlines, or Batrider has to ultimate him. And if Batrider ulties, then he's just going to die in 3 seconds because he doesn't have a BKB. I think Liquid honestly have just been outdrafted in 2 games straight.
Mind Control pushing out. Smoked up. They desperately need a pick here before they go high ground, but he's not going to find it. VG.R sitting well behind their barracks.
Yep. VG.R are telling themselves, guys, we are so comfortable right now, there's almost no way that Liquid can win this game as long as we play it back and chill. They don't even understand how far behind they are, so let's take this game very progressively. VG.R have done exactly that. It's a 15k XP and net worth lead in favor of them.
Can't help but wonder if this is the voice of Mikasa turning things around for VG.R after what has been kind of a rocky start to their group stage. Full wraparound now, as VG.R going to look for every little advantage they can. Now Liquid going to do something similar to what we saw in game number 1. That actually was a great fight for Liquid in game 1 where they preempted this smoke attempt, but pretty sure that advantage of VG.R is still going to allow them to surpass this. Naga Siren Illusion does scout things out, trying to put Matumba Man on the front lines here. The arrow comes out, doesn't actually land on it. The quick footing there from Liquid. Matumba Man now going to be jumped on by Mikasa, immediately pops the BKB. Mind control, thinking about coming forward for a lasso. Not quite yet, though.
I think VG.R want to disengage, especially without the BKB available on the Slardar. They're just going to poke around, see what's happening, because they know that Liquid are corralled in. They know that Liquid don't have a lot of options to back up.
Yeah.
And so it's a position where VG.R, they're just seeing if there are any openings in this Liquid wall.
Liquid gonna play around their wards here, and is gonna push forward, but Matumba Man gonna be hexed up. The Song of Siren goes down at the same time as the Oracle ultimate. And again, it doesn't look like much is gonna come out of this one. Matumba Man even getting hit by the Stomp. DDC is ready to go with the unstable, and now with the physical damage, running into Matumba Man. He doesn't have a saving grace. Liquid full on retreat without their carry. Kuro, he's gonna lose his life as well, unable to complete his TP out. 2 down, VG.R should now be able to take a lane of Rax mid, or at least, at the very least, force out the buyback from Matumba Man.
Yeah, they're just continuing to press forward right now, and don't really think there's a lot of options for them available anymore, just because VG.R's lineup has hit the late game very definitively, whereas Liquid's lineup just doesn't really scale, especially with the amount of items that they have.
Caught Fada. Arrows coming in, BKB activated. BKB apiece, but real physical damage dealer, and in the mid lane, pushing on this tier 3 tower. 13 seconds. Matumba Man as well as Kuroki about to be up, but not in time. They're gonna wake up to see that their Rax has fallen. A full-out Hurricane Pike. I guess that's one way to get some distance away from this Parablade.
They're going to go into this Roach Pit right now, feeling very confident, as Liquid have no reprisal right now, as they pretty much have to take this fight. So they're just going to make their way over very reluctantly. This is probably going to be the last fight of the game for them, as VG.R, they're taking this Roshan very quickly.
Liquid need a miracle.
They need to just go in right now. No, Miracle's on OG.
It's too late. Age is already down. Mikasa gets an excellent initiation on 2. He is going to be chased down by Matumba Man. He still has the BKB. What a stop there. Oh, the jump in from the supports. They just rip Liquid apart, leaving Matumba Man as the cherry on top for FY to get the double, and there it is. Vici Gaming Reborn 2-0 Liquid in the group stage.
That is going to be more than enough for them to call it, as Liquid just kind of left in shambles as VG.R all of a sudden. It seemed like at the beginning of the day there was going to be no way they were going to get into the top 4. Now, what are they? I think reasonably 2? It was like, wait, they have to win 2 straight matches? They have to 2-0-2-0 and they're okay?
Yeah.
That's pretty nuts considering they started without a win.
Yeah. I just real quickly want to point out that you did fall